Hey everyone, this is Randy from BibleBuyingGuide.com. Today I'm taking a look at the Zondervan Nasb Thinline giant print. This is in bonded leather, which makes it a good choice for if you just need something inexpensive, or if you want something that you can, try it and see if you like it, and then replace it later. Bonded leather, it should last a little while, but it's not something that will last years. But it's a good choice for something that's inexpensive. The liner is paste down, and then it only has one of the thick end sheets, and that's used as the presentation page. And let's get into what we've got here. It's made in China, and the paper, I'm not sure of that GSM. I think it's mid-30s, or maybe somewhere between 30 and mid-30s. Just a guess. I don't know. But it is a little bit rough textured, which does help in turning pages, which I like. I actually like that myself, because that's how I turn pages. I rub them together and turn it, or grab it by the corner and pull. And it's not too bad. It could be a little more opaque, but it's not bad. It's definitely worth its price, and has no glare under direct light or anything like that. And the font is so dark, any show through that you do see, it's a lot of it is because of how dark the font is, which I like a dark font. So what we have is a 12-point font. Let's look at our specs. On the back of the box, it shows us we have a 12-point font, Words of Christ in red, 2 ribbon markers, and it's a 1-inch thick 1995 edition of the NASB. Line matched. The font is readable. That's a very readable font. Double column, no cross references, footnotes, and this is the reduced set of footnotes that Zondervan uses. They're placed under the last verse on the page, and they're separate. You can see them easy. And then all the highlights are in black. Across the top, we've got our book name, chapter number, verse number, and then page number, and a little icon there, which I like that nice little icon. Bold section headings. And this is a verse by verse, double column verse by verse, with a poetic setting, which I like. I like that they use a poetic setting. This makes it a good Bible for preaching. Really good for preaching. And then let's see. Let's take a look at Psalms. Poetic setting looks really nice. That's a good setting. Really good design. And then red letter, let's take a look at that. All books start on a new page. So you do have a little bit of space on the end of some pages for notes or something like that. Another thing I like is quotes in the New Testament from the Old Testament are in all caps. And this does include a poetic setting where it's in poetry, or just the regular prose is there. And then here's some of our red letter. It's a good dark red, good bold red. It does seem to be consistent all the way through. This is a good Bible for preaching. I like preaching from this. It stays open easily enough. Will require a little bit of breaking in. It took a little bit to, I've used this quite a bit. It did take it a little bit to get there. And then we have poetic setting in the book of Revelation. Then in the very back, not a whole lot back here, miracles of Jesus. There's a few tables which are good for study. They're good for reference. They're good for a little bit of sermon prep. Won't get you deep into things, but it's a little bit. It's a good start. Miracles of Jesus, parables of Jesus, and some note pages there that you can add some things yourself. Perspectives from the Bible. This is a little bit of a topical index. Prayers of the Bible. And promises from the Bible. And that is it. 2 ribbon markers, Smythe sewn, so it has no trouble staying together. It just, the cover itself, the text block will outlast the cover. So if you want to try something cheap, that's a good choice. Let's take a look at our size. We have 6.5. Now this is the overall size, not the trim size. By 9 and almost 3/4, 9 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/8. Now, anytime they say an inch or something like that, they're talking about the text block, not the cover. I measure the cover, so we have 1.25, 1 1/4, which to me that's a perfect size. I like that size. Easy to hold open. But I measure the cover because if you need to put it in something, that's the number you need to know. So let's weigh. £2, 1.6 ounces. Now, Zondervan has released a few NASBs recently, so let's take a look at how it compares. First is the NASB Preacher's Bible. Oh no, I put him in upside down. I can't do that. The cover is wrong. I actually do have to change him if I notice that. So our overall size is very similar. The Preacher's Bible is thinner. The Preacher's Bible has thicker paper. The footprint is about the same. And now, materials, this is made in China also, but this is made with premium materials, goatskin leather, edge-lined, premium European paper. So a big difference in the quality of the materials. But when you look at the font, I kind of like preaching from this one better than I do this one. Now, there's a few things I like better about this one, of course. I like the red verse numbers. They stand out. That makes it easy to spot really quick. For me, this is easier to preach from simply because, and nice paper too, simply because it's just set up a little bit better. But now if you want something cheap to preach from, that's a good choice, and especially if you like a larger print. I'll zoom so you can see how they compare. Hopefully that was a good enough view. And let's take a look at one more. One of my favorites, the single column NASB reference Bible, also from Zondervan. Now this is definitely a much thicker Bible. There's a reason for that. Footprint, of course, about the same. Really close. Really close footprint. But now we're looking at a major difference in thickness. And the reason is this one is a reference edition and a wide margin edition. This has still a little bit smaller font than this one. Now this one also being a Premier Collection, goatskin edition with red highlights, European paper, while this one is not the high quality paper. But still, here's how they compare. If I can get the paper pages closer. And you can see the reviews of these on my channel and on BibleBuyingGuide.com. Let me zoom back out. So that's our quick look at the NASB Thinline giant print from Zondervan. Zondervan did supply this in exchange for an honest review. I'll place some links in the notes so that you can make a purchase, and you can see the written review on BibleBuyingGuide.com, where I always go into more detail. If you have any questions, you'll probably find the answer there. And thanks for watching.